everyone, this is Elizabeth with 217 Creations, and today I'm going to show you how I have decided to manage my Lacy Labels, which is one of the new Cricut light cartridges. Unfortunately, just because cards, the overlay is very hard to tell which label you are cutting. So this is kind of my solution to the cartridge and my introduction to this week's feature, which will be Lacy Labels. So what I'm going to do is show you here. You can see on this overlay, I'll kind of bring it up here a little bit closer. They all look really similar. I mean, there's some differences, but it's really hard to tell which label you're cutting on. So I took kind of a clue from my friend Pam, who when she would assign projects on Tuesday Treats, she would give us a button number, and I thought, well, this would be a really great way to remember which label I'm getting ready to cut. So what I've done in my manual, the little insert, is I've labeled which button number of the label I'm getting ready to cut. And the way I read the button numbers, you kind of see I labeled all 50 of them. So that's the first 25. The way I label the button numbers in my head is this is button number 1. So 1 through 10, 11 through 20, 21 to 30, 31 to 40, and 41 to 50. And so let's say I'm looking through this great little insert, which I really love these on the new Cricut light cartridges. And if I want to cut, let's say this one here, which by the way is a fabulous cut, it says Soar, number 11. So in my head I go, okay, there's 10. So now I just need number 11. And number 11, you won't be able to see my screen. I can kind of move it over here just a little bit. It's going to be hard to see, but it does say Soar right here. And of course you can match that up with the insert and see that you have the right cut. So that's one thing that I wanted to show you guys with Lacy Labels, because it is very difficult to read the overlay, and I thought this might help people and myself especially keep track of those button numbers. So this week on my blog at www.217creations.blogspot.com, I'm going to be featuring Lacy Labels. And this was one of the first light cartridges I got, thanks to my friend Lori. She picked it up for me in Nebraska, and I picked it up from her when we went on vacation. So I'm going to move this out of the way, and I want to show you just a couple of these cuts. If you want to see them in depth, please visit my blog this week. I have cut all 50 of these labels. So I'm just going to kind of put a few out there just to give you an idea of how adorable this cartridge is. Most of them I cut at their smallest size, which generally runs between 3 and 4.5 inches approximately. And I'll have on the blog all the measurements for all the cuts that I've done, because I have all of them and been keeping track of them, but they are just awesome. Look at these. This is that Soar, that one I was just telling about. Love that cut. And they're really easy to put together. All this week I'll be showing you some tips and techniques and tricks to putting these together. So you can see how just fabulous these all are. And so as kind of my first little blog candy, please visit my blog, because I'm giving away all 50 of these cuts. So you will get every single one of these that I'm showing you. I'm not going to show you all 50, but that gives you an idea of what you can expect. So you're going to get all 50 of the cuts, and they are pretty much embellished and assembled and glued together and everything. So all you have to do is put them on cards or layouts, and you'll have your project completed. The other important thing I wanted to show you inside the Cricut light cartridges is how to read the shifts and the non-shifts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually flip over here, and we're going to go to the first page, and I'm going to grab one of the cuts that I did tonight. And this is drying right now, so I don't want to touch it because it's got stickles on it. But this will give you an idea of how to read these shifts. So number 17, which is this one here, This is it cut and assembled. So the way you want to read these is that this shift here, the gray, is actually the shadow on the base. So you always want to cut your shadow first and then cut your next layer that goes on top. So I know it's tricky because this is in the second column, but you want to cut the shadow first, then cut the base. From there, you'll want to go ahead and cut this feature here, which is the layer without a shift. In the Cricut Lite manuals, the non-shifts are black and the shifts are gray. But this right here, you'll want to cut, and then this will be your final cut, which is the little embellishment layers, which I have to tell you, below 3 inches, you probably don't even want to bother cutting them. They're really, really tiny. So if you're cutting below 3 inches, and on some of these, honestly, almost below 4 inches, I wouldn't even bother cutting this top layer because it's so tiny and so small that you're better off putting a little Prima on or a rhinestone or doing some stickles. So that gives you an idea of how to read these. And as always, when you're doing a layering project such as this, or like the Disney characters or paper dolls, remember you have to have the real size off in order for all the pieces to fit together correctly. And so on this cut here, I cut the shift, which is this piece that you see right here, this outer border. Then I cut the next piece. And gave me this, then I cut the outer, and then I cut the middle and did some little embellishments. So I hope you guys have a great day, and thank you so much. And once again, I love comments, subscribers, and followers. Thank you so much, and have a great day.